Today I will discuss credit creation or money creation of commercial banks. So first I will discuss some basic concepts. Uh, First, bank. Bank is a financial institution who accept deposits from the public and lending money to those who require it. We know that bank accept deposits from the public in four ways. One is current account deposit. It is available for the traders, businessmen, and merchant holders. This account facility is not available for the general public. Next one, saving account deposit. It is this deposit account. It is available for small savers. It is a checkable deposit account, and all facilities available actually in this deposit account: mobile banking, internet banking, and check facility, ATM cum debit card facility. All facility available in saving deposit account, or also alternatively it is called demand deposit account. Next one, fixed deposit account. For fixed period of time, the depositor can deposit money. After the maturity period, the depositor can withdraw money from the bank with interest. Next one, recurrent deposit account. According to the agreement, the depositor deposit money monthly, and also the depositor make agreement with the bank for how many years he can deposit the money. So in these four ways, bank accept the deposit from the public, and also lending money to those who require it. So secondary function of the bank is bank providing loans and advances, and loans and advances of a bank is the credit. Bank sanction credit against collateral assets. Collateral assets are those assets which are owned by the borrower and used as a guarantee to the lender until pay back the loan amount. So collateral assets may be in the form of bank balance, or building, or factory building, or farm building, or gold, like this. So the value of collateral assets must be mentioned in the term and condition paper. So it is a common definition. So bank accept deposits from the public and lending money to those who require it. Next one, primary deposits. Also, it is very essential one to discuss credit creation or money creation of commercial banks. When a person want to open an account in the bank, then at that time he must deposit the minimum amount of money in the bank in the form of cash. So when a bank accepts cash from the customer and opens a deposit account in his name, this deposit amount is primary deposit. So when the person open account in the bank, then at that time the person pay minimum amount of money according to the fixation of the bank in the form of cash. So this deposit is called primary deposit. Alternatively, when a customer is the direct creator of deposit, it is called primary deposit. It is out of these deposits that the bank grants loans and advances. Next one, derivative deposits or secondary deposits. Derivative deposit, when the bank sanction loan, then instead of cash, the bank credit the loan amount in the account of the borrower. So this deposit is called derivative deposit. Just you remember, when the bank sanction loan, then in this case actually the borrower cannot directly collect loan amount from the bank. In this case, bank deposit the loan amount or credit the loan amount in the account of the borrower. Then according to the convenience, or according to the desire, the borrower can withdraw money from his account. So the borrower must have account in the bank. The borrower must have account in the bank from which he want to borrow money. So first one, before approaching loan, the borrower must check whether he has account in this bank or not. So it is the derivative deposit. So clearly already it is mentioned, when bank grants loans and advances, it instead of giving cash to the borrower, opens a deposit account in his name and deposit the amount in this account. So this is secondary or derivative deposit. Next one, legal reserve ratio, LRR. It refers to the minimum fraction of public deposits which the bank had to keep as reserve. And this LRR is fixed by the government. The components of LRR, one is the cash reserve ratio and another one statutory liquidity ratio. So first one, cash reserve ratio, it is the percentage of public deposits kept by the commercial bank with RBI in the form of reserve. Next one, statutory liquidity ratio, it is the percentage of the public deposits kept by the commercial bank with itself in the form of liquid assets like cash, gold, and in approved securities. So the two type of reserves. One reserve maintained by the commercial bank in RBI, another reserve with itself to meet the demand of the customers. So it is the legal reserve ratio and its components. Then excess reserve. Excess reserve basically out of the public deposits, the bank must maintain required reserves. Required reserves already I have discussed, CRR and SLR. So after that, how much reserve is available is called excess reserve. It is clearly mentioned the reserves that a bank holds above the required cash reserves are called excess cash reserves. It is the excess cash reserve out of which the loans are granted and thereby the credit is created. So the minimum reserve maintained by the bank to meet the demand of the customers. Then after that, the excess reserve used by the bank for loans and advances or for credit purposes. Next one, I will discuss the main concept, credit creation of commercial banks. So credit creation is a process due to which commercial banks are able to create credit, which is multiple of initial excess reserve. In posturing case, I will discuss one example. In example, I can clarify everything to you. So simple things, bank credit means banks loans and advances. Bank must maintain minimum reserve. Then the bank use the excess reserve for credit purposes. And it is clearly mentioned that a bank keeps a certain percentage of the public deposits as minimum reserve for meeting the demand of depositors. Already I have discussed. Minimum reserve, two types, cash reserve ratio and statutory liquidity ratio. One reserve with RBI and one reserve kept by the commercial bank with itself in the form of liquid assets, and then lends out the remaining excess reserve to earn income. The bank loan is not paid directly to the borrower. Already I told to you, when the bank sanction loan, then in this case bank open the account on the name of the borrower and deposit the loan amount or credit the loan amount in the account of the borrower. The bank cannot give the loan amount directly in the form of cash. So it is clearly mentioned the bank loan is not paid directly to the borrower, but it is only credited in his account. Every bank loan creates an equivalent deposit in the bank. When the bank sanction loan, then indirectly you must detect that every bank loan amount, it is equivalent to the amount deposit in the bank. Also, credit creation means multiple expansion of initial primary deposit. So when you go through the table, then you must have knowledge about the credit creation. Alternate name of credit creation is money creation. So here one assumption I have taken. I assume that all receipts and payments in the economy are routed through the banks. That is to say, all payments made through checks and all receipts are deposited in the banks. All payments must be made through checks. So if all payments made through checks, automatically all receipts must be deposited in the banks. So example it is given, initial primary deposit is rupees 1000 and legal reserve ratio is 20%. So if you see bank A, initial primary deposit 1000 rupees, LRR 20%, it means it is the minimum required reserve maintained by the commercial bank. then 200 rupees, 20% of 1000, it is 200. Then derivative deposit is 800. Already I told you derivative deposit is when the bank sanction loan, then bank deposit the loan amount in the account of the borrower. So here excess reserve is 800. After minimum reserve, initial primary deposit 1000, required reserve 200, then excess reserve 800. Then I have discussed the excess reserve used by the bank for credit purposes, for loans and advances. So in case of bank A, excess reserve is 800. So bank A lend out rupees 800. Okay. So bank A lend out to the borrowers and deposit rupees 800 in their accounts. Clear? Then the borrowers of bank A make payment to the people, those who have account in bank B. So already I assumed that all the payments must be made through checks. If the borrowers of bank A make payment in the form of checks, then definitely this money again it is coming to the bank B. It is clearly mentioned the bank creates derivative deposits equal to its initial excess reserves of rupees 800. That is a rupees 1000 minus 20% of 1000 and it is equal to rupees 800 by granting loans to the borrowers. The borrowers make payments of rupees 800 by checks to other people who are customers of bank B. It means 800 rupees lent out by bank A. So the borrowers of bank A make payment to the people, those who have account in bank B, those who have bank B. So the borrowers make payments of rupees 800 by checks to other people who are the customers of bank B. Then for bank B, minimum primary deposit is 800. Then similarly, out of 800, 20% required reserve, then 640 excess reserve. Again, the bank B lend out rupees 640 and deposit 640 in the account of the borrowers. Then the borrowers of bank B make payment to the people, those who have account in bank C, and the borrowers of bank B make payment in the form of checks to the people, those who have account in bank C. Again 640, it is coming to bank C. So primary deposit of bank C is 640. So like this it is going on. So this process will continue until the initial primary deposits of rupees 1000 with bank A leads to creation of total deposits of rupees 5000. And similarly, the initial excess reserve of rupees 800 in bank A leads to the multiple expansion of total derivative deposits of rupees 4000 in the interbanking system. So two ways. One is initial primary deposit of rupees 1000 leads to total deposit of rupees 5000. Similarly, initial excess reserve of rupees 800 leads to creation of credit of rupees 4000. So both the cases multiplier is 5. Then I have used the formula credit multiplier money multiplier is equal to 1 by LRR. 1 by LRR is 20%. 1 by 20% is equal to 5. So credit multiplier is equal to 5. Another way also you can find credit multiplier. It is total derivative deposits divided by initial excess reserve. You see the table. Total derivative deposit is 4000. This much of amount of money credited by the bank, 4000 rupees in this example, 4000 rupees credited by the bank and initial excess reserve is 800. So then credit multiplier formula total derivative deposits divided by initial excess reserves. It is also 5. And credit creation, it is initial primary deposit into 1 by LRR. It is 5000 rupees. Initial primary deposit rupees 1000 leads to total deposit of rupees 5000. And or also another formula in credit creation is equal to initial excess reserve into credit multiplier. So credit multiplier is 5. Initial excess reserve is rupees 800. So in both the cases also you can find credit creation. So ultimately we have detected that same definition I have given. One is there is expansion of initial, there is multiple expansion of initial primary deposit and bank is able to create credit which is multiple of initial excess reserves. So if you go through the table, you consider assumption, you consider different concepts like LRR, derivative deposits, primary deposits, everything you have cleared, then this concept is easy for you. Thank you.